I just very recently posted a comment to one of HuzzyGames' videos, and well, let's just say we had quite the conversation, you might say. This is what I started out with. This is why I can't stand the ELO system. There are trash players everywhere from diamond to bronze. I'm better than some diamond players I've seen in some videos, yet I'm still in bronze. Now, the reason I typed that is because I have seen examples where diamond players have made unbelievably bad plays and just, wandering into dark areas of the jungle with first of all, no reason to go there. Second of all, no vision at all. No wards, no vision, and they'd get picked off and die. So I'm just thinking to myself, geez, these people are in diamond? What? So, yeah, I was just sort of sharing that thought, and it turned into this big sort of hostile discussion. He replies, "You're living in denial." To which I reply, "Whatever, man. I've already made a video going over the subject in detail, if you care to watch it." You're probably wondering if you watched it. I think you can guess whether or not he did. He didn't. No, he refused to. He refuses to watch it. Goes on to say, "Nope, I've coached hundreds of players yourself as I was you 6 odd years ago. It comes a lot with being young and inexperienced in life." Okay, so here he's just, instead of actually looking into my situation, watching the video that I made, getting himself informed on what the situation actually is, he's just making assumptions about me without knowing anything about me. He's just making these rash assumptions. So I reply, "You don't know anything about me. Like I said, I invite you to watch the video I made where I provide a plethora of evidence to prove that the matchmaker prevented me from climbing. If you won't watch that video, it just shows that you ignore any evidence that doesn't coincide with your preconceived notions." To which he replies, "What's your IGN? I'll include you on to my next op.gg review video and break apart your profile." And then this other person chimes in, basically going over my op.gg and saying that, "Oh, you were terrible with Singe, you were terrible with Brand, terrible with Misfortune." Didn't actually pick up on the fact that I was playing Misfortune support, not Misfortune ADC. Teemo, etc. Totally missing the point. Totally missing the fact that this has nothing to do with the games that I played on other champions that I was just experimenting with. My complaint about the system is based on evidence of me playing Karthus and Master Yi before I started playing these other champions, which I did my video on, which this person would have known if this person had actually watched my video. So it's just this long-winded thing saying, "Oh, it's your own fault, blah, 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 blah." Of course, not basing it on anything that I'm actually getting at, just basing it on champions that I experimented with after the fact. So I reply, "None of that is really relevant. I was playing mostly exclusively Karthus and Master Yi for over 100 games and not climbing before I said F it and started experimenting with other champions and not trying that hard. Well, still trying to win, but not putting in sort of that supreme effort that I was doing before. So my video was based on my Karthus and Master Yi games before I had reached that breaking point." And to HuzzyGames, I replied, "My IGN is MathGodPie and I'm in NA, but like I said, everything I have to say on the subject is in that video, so if you won't watch that video, you're going to be missing out on most of the important context. For the record, when I see a diamond player blindly wandering into a dark portion of jungle with no vision and getting picked off, yes, I can confidently say that I'm better. Why? Because I wouldn't make such a boneheaded play." To which he replies, "I'll try to remember to include you, but just two things to talk about. Maybe you're just bad at League. That's okay. Sometimes in life you're not going to be good at no matter what. I'll probably never be good at figure skating, even if I tried. That's life. Number 2, the argument about matchmaking systems screwing you just shows the lack of common sense. Every single player has the same system as you. The common thing is you in every game. People are constantly climbing. I've climbed my first many years ago. The common thing of why you're not climbing is you suck it up, man up, and move on. I'm going to take a wild guess and say you're quite young, so I don't want to be harsh on you, but you'll grow out of blaming things when you grow up. And if you don't, well, there's only one way you're going, and it ain't great. Okay, so basically reverting back to what he was doing before, making assumptions, being ill-informed, not willing to inform himself, not willing to watch my video, not willing to know what he's talking about, and just, resorting to the same old simplistic talking points that basically every streamer falls back on. Everyone just falls back on the same old things that they say, and no one gives any thought to the possibility that certain people are screwed over, especially when there's a plethora of evidence that I gathered and put together in a video that no one seems willing to watch. You got to understand why this is frustrating for me. He just says, well, everyone climbs, but he doesn't take into account the fact that not only is the common thing me in every game, the other constant thing is that the system controls who I get teamed up with. That's the other constant. Yes, every single time I queue up for solo queue, the system controls who I'm teamed up with. That is a constant in every single one of my games, and that's something that this person will not acknowledge. And yes, other people climb. Okay, I get that, but that doesn't address my particular situation, which is that I believe that the system is doing something different to me than it does for other people. Why? I don't know. How? I don't know. I just believe that it does based on the evidence that I've gathered, and no one seems willing to acknowledge that I had a huge stretch of games where there was minimum 3 feeders on my team every time I lost. Well, almost every time I lost. I reply, once again, you just resort to your preconceived notions and you assume that you know anything about me. Be as harsh as you want, I could care less. What bothers me, though, is that I put cold, hard evidence in front of your face and you choose to ignore it all. Please watch the video as in its entirety if you want to be properly informed. To which he replies, it doesn't. I know that for a fact. Well, wait a minute. You know what for a fact? In regards to this. You're just saying you know it for the fact because you're getting hostile because I'm criticizing something that is treating you very well and has treated you very well for a very long time. You're getting hostile towards me because I dare criticize the current power structure, the current status quo, the current way things are done. It's treated you very well for a very long time, and you want to attack anyone who dares criticize it. So no, you don't know for a fact that I'm not being segregated and treated differently based on reports, bogus reports that people file against me. You don't know that that's not happening. You're just assuming it's not happening. But anyways, he goes on. But I think you're honestly a lost cause. Take the tinfoil hat off and wake up. Your friends must love you if you play a league talking about this all the time. You'll most likely be bronze forever, while everyone passes you because you're making up excuses and not focusing on what's important, or a troll that says these things just to get react. You think that I'm saying these things just to get reactions from people? Again, nothing could be further from the truth. I hate making these videos. Complaining about stuff. I hate doing this. But at some point, a person has to stand up for himself. I hate the fact that this is happening. I hate the fact that I'm, making these videos. And no, I'm not doing these things to get reactions from people. I'm not doing this for the attention. I don't want this kind of attention. The kind of attention I want is climbing the ladder and getting positive attention. I don't want negative attention. I don't want people to dislike me. But at some point, I do have to stand up for myself. And I do have to say, hey, look, there's something really, really rotten going on here. So once again, you don't know anything about me and you're getting completely the wrong impression. So I reply, "Are you serious? You aren't going to watch the video? This is just crazy. I don't know what to say to a person who just wants to make assumptions and ignore evidence. Anyways, you come across as a nice person in your videos, and I enjoy your channel. Keep up the great work. Cheers." Okay. To which he replies, "I'm not going to watch something and waste my time on something that I 100% would put my life on isn't true. You're exactly like a flat earther or a religious person. You're not worth the time or effort to help. Live in your stupid bubble. I'm done." So basically, at this point, he's just saying, I choose to be ignorant. I choose to be hateful towards you. I choose to close my eyes and ears. I choose to ignore evidence. And I choose to stick my middle finger up at you. That's what he's choosing. And I think this is horribly unfortunate, that someone who comes across as such a nice guy in his videos, someone who comes across as, this wonderful person who makes these nice videos, really nice YouTuber, really nice Twitch streamer, would completely do this 180 and tear into somebody they've never met, don't know a single thing about, and has the completely wrong impression of. So needless to say, I'm really disappointed in HuzzyGames. The way that he's been responding to me here. Really disappointed in, just the outright ignorance and the outright hostility. Why would a person be this close-minded that they would go on the attack on someone without even listening to what that person has to say? I made that video. I said everything that I needed to say on the subject in that video, and no one wants to watch the bloody video. So what am I supposed to do if people are going to attack me without even understanding my position, without seeing the evidence for themselves, and just cling to these assumptions that are not true? And then my final comment is, it's a look at my mobalytics and about a 30-game stretch on op.gg, and where most of my losses, there were at least 3 hard feeders on my team. My MOBA has me at challenger level in 5 of the 8 categories, but hey, mobalytics is just a bunch of tinfoil nonsense, right? So I was being a little sarcastic there at the end, but you understand why. I'm getting frustrated. And this isn't the first YouTuber I've had this kind of conversation with. The other YouTuber, I can't remember his name, but it was basically the same kind of thing. It was assumptions after assumption after assumption, not willing to listen to me, not willing to watch my video, and just going on the attack. And I don't know how to deal with this. But I think it just goes to show that we live in a world of like post-evidence, post-truth, post-facts. No one cares what the facts or the evidence are. No one wants to look at anything. Everyone just wants to cling to their preconceived notions and their preconceived assumptions, and no one wants to think critically. No one wants to take a look at anything, and no one wants to listen to anyone. So I'm more than willing to listen to him if he would at least listen to me first, get the full context of what I'm trying to say, look at the evidence, and then respond. I'm more than happy to listen to that, but this is just madness. This is just him clinging to his preconceived notions. So, and I think he's just getting hostile towards me because I'm questioning the system, because I'm placing the current matchmaking system under some scrutiny, and he hates that. He seems to hate that. And he's not alone. Most streamers of League of Legends, as far as I can see, they're very much the same way. There's this system that's treating them very well, and they don't want anyone to place it under any scrutiny. So that's it for me, guys. Yeah. Again, another video I didn't want to make, but a guy's got to stand up for himself at some point. So anyways, cheers.